Are you ready for Thanksgiving? We've all been there. Overeating on the holidays? Well, that's a go-to. So right now I'm ready with my stretchy pants and my, very loose top to cover the future food baby. 9 months pregnant kind of situation there. So leave a comment below if you've been there. You go to a holiday, especially Thanksgiving, you binge your heart out, you eat everything you see, and then you're like, ugh, I can't do this anymore. I can't breathe. I can't move. I'm just ready to fall asleep like a bear, and maybe go full hibernation mode for a few days because you need to process all of this. The solution to this thing, because most of us been there, and you kind of want to enjoy your food during the holidays, and you want to try everything, and and it looks delicious, it tastes delicious, you gotta eat it. So the solution, number one solution, is intuitive eating. So subscribe to see more videos about intuitive eating. I've done so many videos about intuitive eating, different types, different kinds, all tips and tricks that will help you to eat intuitively and listen to your body, to make sure that you eat whatever your body needs, not what you want, which is a big distinction. They can talk about in different videos. And I have a full video about intuitive eating that I'll link below, so if you guys want it, you watch it. Number one thing to do when it comes to holidays, and it can be Thanksgiving, Christmas, any other holidays where you just binge your heart out, is being aware of the situation. Being aware that yes, I am about to binge, and yes, I can stop it if I wanted to. So being aware and being prepared is the half of the solution, what you already have, because you are aware and you're looking for this video and you found it, and you're gonna find some more tips. Thanksgiving is coming up, and my approach, I'm gonna share it in a moment. Leave a comment with your tips, what you do on Thanksgiving so you don't overeat, so you don't binge, you don't feel bad after. So what is your strategy? Maybe if you share it, it will help some other people. So leave a comment below, or whatever your thoughts are. Maybe you think it's like super cool to binge on Thanksgiving, or maybe it's not, and it's up to you. How do you feel after holidays? Maybe you feel bad, or maybe you feel good. Just leave anything you want below. So what I do, what my approach is, because my hungry eyes want everything. They look at food and it looks delicious and it smells delicious, and like, oh, I want all of it, and I want to try all of it, and like I'm that kind of person, like trying new food, like sampling. So my go-to approach is to take a plate and serve myself, because if other people serve you, they'll put too much food, they'll put like a bunch of potatoes, and then this and this, and then you don't have any space, and then you kind of feel like you have to eat it because they put it on your plate. So that's another different situation. So what I do is I take a plate and I do mini sampling. So I do mini, like 1 spoon of this, 1 spoon of this, 1 spoon of this. Pretty much most of the time everything fits in my plate. And then I just do a small piece of this, small piece of this, small piece of this, and my body and my craving, hungry eyes are satisfied because they've tried everything. And like most of the time, half of the food is not as good, and if I would have put it on the plate, I would have eaten it, because I feel bad leaving food, and then I feel bad that the person that cooked it looking at me and they staring like, is she gonna eat that? I spent half a day cooking this, she's gotta eat it. I'm like, I don't know what to do. So you feel bad not eating, right? So and I know that 1 plate is more than enough for me. So if I put a lot of little things on 1 plate and I eat this whole thing, I'm good. I don't need to eat anymore. And then I don't go the second time. I mean, unless the food is so delicious, I'll maybe add a couple more spoons of it. But I try not to, because I know by the time I try all of this, I'm already full. So just put everything on your plate that looks good, but put it in small quantities. That's it. Just teeny bits of everything, whatever tastes good, whatever smells good, whatever looks good for you. And then you try it, and if later maybe you're hungry, you can add a little bit more, but then you gotta watch yourself if you're really hungry, right? And because we tend to overeat during the holidays, and then it makes you happy. You tried everything, you enjoy the food, good. Another very important question to ask yourself when it comes to full plate, when it comes to adding more food to your plate, right, is to check with yourself and make sure that you want to continue eating. Because sometimes your hungry eyes like, oh, I want this, it tastes so good, it looks so good, right? I want to keep eating it. But then your body is like, well, we're getting to the point where it's kind of, there's no more room, or we gotta stop at some point, or we're gonna feel not so good later. So you gotta check with your body and see, are you stuffed? Are you moderately full? Like, do you want to get to the stuffed point where you cannot move and you cannot do anything? And are you really full? Should you stop? Or should you keep eating because you're a munching robot and a copycat because everyone keeps eating, you're eating, that's why you do too. So remember, always have option to keep it for later. You can always keep it for later. And if you're visiting someone and they're cooking, it kind of sometimes we feel bad to ask them like, can you put some aside for me? I'm gonna eat some at home, right? But what you can say, in order for you to maybe try it later at home, if you want to, you can say it was so delicious. Like if it generally you like that food, you tried it, you liked it, but you can't eat anymore. You can say it's so amazing, it's so delicious. Can you put a little bit for me for later? Because right now I'm so stuffed from, like, your cooking is amazing. I'm so stuffed, I can't eat anymore, but I really like it. Can you put a little bit for me so I can enjoy it later at home? And I'm pretty sure the person who was cooking this, they will be so excited to put some food for you for later. They will feel so good because you gave them the best compliment they could receive, because they've been cooking probably for days, especially the turkey. So yeah, I mean, it's a win-win situation. You get the food that you like and you can eat it later at home. You don't have to stuff yourself to the point where you cannot breathe, right? Breathing is important. Remember, breathing is important. That's how we live. So if you cannot breathe, you cannot live. So leave some room for breathing. And and the person will be excited. They will feel appreciated. They will feel good that someone loves their food so much that they are asking to take a little bit to go, which is amazing, right? Also, choose only food that your body wants, not your hungry eyes want. And my hungry eyes want all kinds of food all the time. And if I see food, I'm on a seafood diet. You guys heard it probably. Seafood, I eat food. So that's what I do. So that's why I try to check with my body and see, like, do I really want it? Do I really like it? Because sometimes you eat automatically. You keep talking with people, you're not paying attention to the conversation. You're like, like a robot. You're just munching robot, like putting food in your mouth and not even realizing what you're eating, or should you be eating it in the first place, or do you like it at all? Does it taste good? Sometimes we don't even know if it tasted good because we're keeping the conversation like and then like, I don't remember how it tasted. So you gotta stay in your body. You gotta pay attention to your food, and you gotta see whether you enjoy it or not. And sometimes there's also this thing where like I told you guys, right? I feel bad when I leave food on the plate because I feel like it's wasting food, and certain cultures are better with this than others. In our culture, in Russian, like I remember, like even during my childhood, there was so much pressure for you to eat your food. I remember my grandma is like, you gotta eat all your food, everything on the plate, and if you ask for more, she feels so happy. So I used to ask for more, and then of course I developed unhealthy eating habits because I was always encouraged to eat more and more and more and more and more, right? So, and they look at you, if you don't eat it, they look at you with guilt, and they try to guilt you into eating. They're like, well, you didn't like it. Well, what's going on there? Why you're not eating? I spend a whole day cooking, right? So in some cultures, it's not polite not to finish your plate, right? And that's where you gotta be firm and say, well, maybe I'll finish it later, maybe can you put it for me for later, or I cannot do it anymore, find some other excuses that not to do it and not to offend the person, because sometimes it can be very tricky. And I used to give in to those, demands to finish all the food before, but now, since I care for my body more, I start realizing that if I overeat all the time, people tell me to eat, that's not good for my body at all. And then it becomes a habit, which is worse. When it becomes a habit, you cannot even control it much. So yeah, don't give in and eat as much as you need to, but no more than you need to. And yeah, just tell them, can you put it to go? Because right now I'm like up to here and there's no more room. Another main point that I wanted to talk before we finish this video. If you like it so far, hit the like button and subscribe for more videos, because I'm really excited to do the videos. So how to forgive yourself if you did overeat. And that's a very important part, because people tend to, sometimes we give in to our cravings. Sometimes we're like, yeah, I did it. And then some people start feeling bad. They start shaming and blaming themselves and like, I have no willpower. How could I? I told myself I'm not gonna do it. And then I'm eating all this food again and I'm feeling stuff and I don't feel good after it. So yeah, sometimes it can happen, and that's life. And sometimes we plan something and it doesn't work out, and sometimes we tell ourselves one thing and another thing happens, and that's okay. It takes practice to stop eating, especially if it's related to certain holidays where everyone is eating, you want to keep eating too. But shaming and blaming doesn't work. Shaming and blaming actually makes it way worse, where you put yourself down, you put yourself into the negative headspace, and then you want to eat more because you're into that negative headspace, and then it's emotional eating, and then you eat more, and then you shame yourself more, and then you eat more, and you shame yourself more. So it's a vicious circle that you want to avoid. So the go-to in this scenario, if you do something that you didn't want to do, it's anything, food, anything in life, anything in life, is I love and accept myself. And notice how you feel after. Like, just say, I love and accept myself, because we need to treat ourselves as our best friends. You wouldn't, like, let's say you're talking to your friend and they say, okay, I wasn't going to eat that much, but I ate, I feel so bad. You wouldn't say, you're a bad person, you shouldn't be eating, right? You're bad. No, that's not good. That's not a good friendship. Yeah, so you shouldn't be doing it to your friend, and you shouldn't be doing it to yourself, the most important person in your life. So it's very important to treat yourself with love and respect, and give yourself acceptance and leeway. And being okay with sometimes saying one thing and doing another thing, and accepting yourself the way you are. And make sure every time you eat or overeat or you eat certain food, notice how you feel after. So after certain time, we develop a habit where if we start asking questions, if I eat that much, will I feel good after? And you say, well, no, last Thanksgiving I was like this and I couldn't move for 2 days and I felt so sluggish and I felt so yucky that I don't want to do it anymore, right? So this time I decided to make a different choice, and that's okay. But you're basing your decision on the previous experience, not because something, someone told you not to. Because sometimes we make decisions like, well, someone on internet told me not to overeat on holidays. Like, your subconscious brain, your brain is like, I don't care about that someone. If you make that decision based on some data that we have from previous experience and we didn't feel good, and you rationalize it to your subconscious, okay, well, we didn't feel good last time, I don't want to feel good the same way this time, maybe we shouldn't do it. That's a very better motivation than some dude on the internet telling you, don't do it. Don't do it. Well, I told you not to do it and you did it. You're bad. Yeah, don't listen to people anywhere. I mean, you gotta listen to me a little bit, but make your own decisions, right? In life, you gotta make your own decision. You can listen to anyone you want, but at the end, it's your decision. So yeah, that's a good question to ask. Is it worth it? Is it worth it for me to overeat right now to feel not so good later? So those are all my tips. I mean, probably I could have come up with more, but right now that's it. I'm gonna tell you after Thanksgiving what my takeaways and what I'm gonna come up with more, I guess. So like, hit subscribe, share, comment, do all of these things, because it's really exciting to see your comments. It's really exciting to see your likes. It means that you guys really care, that I need to do more videos on this, and just let me know what you think about my tips, or what tips you have for holidays, because it's coming up and we need to be prepared. We all need to be prepared. But yeah, and at the same time, enjoy it. Enjoy your food. Don't blame yourself. Don't shame yourself. Don't put any negative connotation to it. It's okay to eat. Eating is normal, and sometimes we gotta enjoy our life. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video, guys.